I hate the two-party system. Now, that's an echo that comes down to us from George Washington and James Madison and many of our founding fathers. They hated the idea of factions, tribes, whatever you want to call it. They had just gone through hell because the American Revolution was a case of one tribe fighting the other side, one side trying to take away the rights of the other side, one side hating the other side. In the end, as James Madison and George Washington put it, parties create unnecessary artificial divisions, and one side eventually tries to take advantage of the other side, and nothing good comes of it. I think we've seen that in the last two elections. Now, even if you believe that your world would be better if you and your party ruled the entire world and everything in it, a one-sided coup, either side, would bring about the end of America. You win your big prize, and there's no America. And it's your fault if you think that, as an American, you can strong-arm the other side and maintain our democracy. You can't, and you're playing Russian roulette with a dictatorship. The Founding Fathers never meant this to be a zero-sum game. Let's take that one step further. What is the purpose of your party and your intense loyalty to it? It used to be that Republicans believed in small government, fiscal conservatism, support of the capitalist system. They were respectable and saw their conservative values as the way to do right by the American people. Democrats believe in big government, social programs, and progressive agendas. At least that's the way it used to be. The two parties once had a purpose that meant something in our lives and our government. So what is the purpose of the two-party system now in the age of tribalism? Yes, that's right now. What is the purpose of a party and your intense loyalty to it? I doubt that many of you have asked yourself that question these days because the answer seems obvious to either side. So I'll suggest an answer. Until recently, the two parties held a grudging tolerance of each other, accepting the majority decision in an election, because it was part of the fabric of America. It's put the health of the country ahead of their partisan interests. Every 4 years until recently, either side was at best annoyed by the election of a Clinton or a Bush. But the business of America went on, and everyone accepted it. Everyone. And now I suggest to you who are a left or right extremist, that the reason for your intense loyalty to your party is that it gives you someone to hate. Of course, that sounds absolutely ridiculous to you if you're an extremist. Obviously, the other side deserves your hate because you've talked yourself into thinking that they are part of the evil force that permeates the country. As little as 5 years ago, no one felt that way. So when did the evil empire on either side take hold of the country? Where did it come from? And why do you hate these people and their ideas? Or is it that hating the other side is so satisfying, so seemingly empowering, that you couldn't possibly give it up? Anger is irrational and requires an enemy to make it real. You have to feel that someone or something is the reason for your discontent. Otherwise, you're just unhappy, and it's your problem. That's not something anyone would be willing to admit. Many wise people, as well as our religious leaders, have told us that anger and revenge and the like is inside us and not always the result of anything external. We are responsible for it. So ask yourself if you dislike the other side because of anything important, such as policies on criminal justice, that actually affects your life. Or is it because you hate Hillary Clinton or Mitch McConnell? If this isn't an issue of policy or government, then it has nothing to do with America. Or honestly, it has nothing to do with your life. Guess what? The purpose of the executive, legislative, and judicial branch of the government is not to win. Winning without any achievement is, well, not winning. It's like two high school sports teams whose parents are betting the farm to have their children win a victory that will last a semester and be meaningless in a few months. And that's what you're doing. Well, there is something that a few people have considered. Winning the House or the Senate is pretty meaningless unless you have something worthwhile to do with it. And in the end, we suffer for it because we don't have a government that helps us. They're not helping us now. Neither side. Do you believe in democracy? You are here because someone did years ago. Please keep that in mind. And thank you for listening.